And it's going to count down, and hopefully this will work. Hello, Tish. Can you just confirm, if you're still there, can you just confirm that we're live again, please? Okay, and I don't know. Okay, Tish, if you are watching, if you can just confirm we are live, we'll actually edit this and splice it together so that we've got a seamless production at the end of it. But you know what really happened because the screen went black. Right, I'm going to again, if we assume that we're broadcasting, and just carry on. So
yeah. Mark. So what are the aspects you're thinking of when you say you help people go online and be videoed online? I think that's what your wording was.
It is, yeah. I mean, going online for the first time is something that people shy from because certainly in the UK, as opposed to the US, we're reticent about being on camera. And that's because we care, well, not saying the Americans don't, but we care how we look on camera, how we sound on camera. And the last thing we want to do is to make a fool of ourselves live when there's nothing you can do about it. If you do a video recording and edit it and put it up, then you've sort of sorted everything out. With live video, as we've just seen, you do have a problem. And all right, okay. Right, sorry about that. I've just been advised of something. We are live. I lost my train of thought now. Right.
Yeah,
so, I mean, there is this reticence to go live. Would you agree?
I definitely agree. Yes, people are afraid to, or it's like almost like a stage fright, isn't it? Or a fear of making bloopers or coming across wrong or giving a wrong impression or stumbling over your words or being criticized. Gosh,
it is, and but the thing is that once you've done your first broadcast, once you've got over those nerves, then your second broadcast is a lot easier. If you enjoy your first broadcast, you'll do a second one. If you enjoy your second one, you'll do a third one. And it's sort of cumulative. As you gain confidence, you get better at being on camera.
Yeah.
And it is, more shows you do, the better it is. And when you first start broadcasting, the best way to do it is to open up a group on Facebook with just 2 members, you and a friend, and broadcast into the group so that your friend can see you. They're going to be kind, they're going to be critical, but helpfully critical. And get comfortable with broadcasting with just them watching, and then add a few more friends, and then a few more friends, until you've got a room full of people watching every broadcast that you do. And then when you're confident and you're happy, then you can go live on Facebook itself, on your timeline, to the world.
And that brings me to the question, you've done these for several years now. What are the more successful online, what do you call them, meetings, interviews?
Well, meetings, chat shows. I mean, this is one of the best ways of networking, because you can meet people from around the world. I mean, on Facebook told me yesterday I've made 550 contacts this year. And they're from Pakistan, Japan, the USA, Canada, Germany, France, all around the globe. So this is one way to actually connect with people and then turn those connections into friendships, because after the show you talk to people and message them and keep in touch with them. So to me, the greatest power of this is to be able to network globally. And it simply works. There's no doubt about that. And the other thing is that if you decide you want to broadcast, and I'll come up with a practical example. I was at a networking meeting a month ago, and there's a lady there called Anne-Marie. Shout out to Anne-Marie. And Anne-Marie is an author. She writes romantic fiction, and she's published. She's got a book out, came out last year, another book out in February. But it was a question of, how does she get the word out? How can she promote her book? Now, you can buy adverts on Facebook. You can pay for them. You can boost a post on Facebook. You can buy adverts everywhere. But at the moment, Facebook likes live video. But she'd never been on camera. So, like we just said, she didn't want to go on camera. Mm-hmm. But she came on camera, and I talked to her, and we did a short show. And then the following week, she and her husband, who's a postal officer in Swindon, got together, and he explained how the postal system works in Wiltshire. Wow. They had great fun with it.
Yeah.
And then the following week, she interviewed one of her friends. And she's gone from not being on camera to having been bitten by the camera bug. And she's now live on her own regular show, which is 8 p.m. every Friday night.
Wow.
And she's just enjoying it. So you can go from not being on camera to having a regular show in the space of a month.
Yes, it's amazing, and it's really inspiring to hear such a real story, you know, from recent and from close by as well, as in, you know, not far from us. And
indeed, I mean, I spoke to Anne-Marie this morning, and in fact, I'm going to be on her show on Friday night.
Wow, that's brilliant, isn't it?
She's turning the tables just like you are today.
So my question to you then is, because she was reticent and she didn't really want to do that, and then somehow you what's the word? You talked her around. What was your technique of doing that?
Basically, I treat this as now is that it's just the two of us talking.
Yeah.
And the fact it's going out elsewhere is incidental. I'm concentrating on answering your questions.
Yeah.
And that's the way that it works. If you take it as that and you concentrate on getting this right, then you can forget about the rest of it. You can certainly when you first start off broadcasting, you can just treat it as a chat amongst friends.
Yeah.
And take it from there.
It reminds me of the same approach, I guess, in you know, when you think about presenting skills, you know, if you have to stand in front of a large group of, you know, be it 20 or 200 people, my advice always is to treat these people not as a large mass of people that are there to, you know, to pounce on you, but to treat 200 individuals, 200 times one, and try to connect with each single individual rather than focusing on the fact that this is such a big group of people that are all staring at you. You know, it's trying to create a mental approach that makes it more palatable, huh?
It is. I totally agree. It's the way that you think about it, the way you actually sort of set yourself up before the interview. If you're afraid of it at the beginning, then you just need to go away and practice and come back when you feel happy. The other thing is that if you are going to do a show for half an hour, then like you've got today, you've got to have an agenda. You've got to have a list of questions that you're going to ask and contingent questions. You've got to have a sort of running order.
Yeah.
And you can actually then refer back to that during the course of the show. And because you work into bullet points to a running order, you know where you are. You don't lose focus.
Yeah. So if there are people watching us now or later on who are perhaps underneath it all, are secretly or very quietly or unconsciously also thinking or hoping that they would want to make that step, how would you be able to help them do that? Right.
Okay. I'm live at least 5 times a week. The easiest way is to come and catch one of my shows. Mm-hmm. And they're all on one page on Facebook, which is called Be Live in 5. So if you remember that, Be Live in 5 or Stephen Healey, but Be Live in 5 will find 4 shows which go out at 5 p.m. In the UK and 12 p.m. On the eastern coast of the United States. And just watch one of those shows. Watch what it's about, get a feel for it. If you like what's happening, then just put a comment in like you do ordinarily on Facebook and say, I'm interested. And that will get you a chat.
And these Be Live in 5 chat shows, do they focus on a certain, I don't know, interest area or professional angle? Or could it be about about anything?
Well, Be Live in 5 is focused on two things. We've got a course on Udemy, which helps you go live on BeLive.tv, which is free. We've got a mentorship program, which gives you 15 minutes one-to-one mentorship on going live. And then our shows each week are based around, Monday show is actually broadcast from Canada. And that's based around community building. And that community building in our terms, pre-computers, was actually networking and networking meetings and getting to meet people. Now you can meet people globally. So community building is all about building your own community, your own network. Tuesday is talk show, and we invite everybody on camera to talk about anything that they want. It doesn't have to be video related, it can be anything. Yesterday we were talking about, I've got a friend in Solihull who I've known for 12 years, and he came on the show, and we did a retrospective. We were talking about computers from the 1970s and 80s.
Olivetti.
So well,
Commodore, I don't know.
Indeed, Commodore, yeah, exactly. Commodore PET and Commodore 64, Sinclair ZX81. That's where we started. And then on Wednesday, the show on Wednesday comes from Adelaide, in Australia, and is run by Adair. That goes out at 11 o'clock at night. I'm not awake at that time, so Adair runs the show with Theone, and they are looking for stories. And basically, they have a guest every week, and their guest is invited to tell their story. And it can be about anything. It can be about their business, it can be about their life, it can be about their interest. And over the course of an hour, Adair and Theone sort of get the story. Thursdays is myself and Tina Shang, and we have a show called Grow Your Live Tribe, which keeps people up to date, and it talks about what's going on in tech and how you can grow your live tribe. And two recent topics. The first one has been bots, chat bots. You may have seen them about, you can make a comment on a Facebook post. Okay, and then you get a message in Messenger. Yeah, it's automated. Yeah, and that works quite well. So we do that as well, and we also talk about something very new. Do you have Alexa at home?
We're considering asking Father Christmas if he can drop one by us. Yes.
Right.
Not yet.
Okay.
Something that we.
No, neither have we yet. I mean, but Alexa, you can ask Alexa anything.
Yeah.
And Alexa is now taking contributions from anybody. And you can start your own podcast, voice only, on Alexa, and it will go out to everybody who's got an Alexa device.
Right.
So I'm starting one which is called, when you say Ask Be Live, you'll get a 5-minute show from me, all about going live on video and all the shows that are coming up that day. And that's new technology. We only found out about it yesterday, and we're interviewing one of our friends, David, about that tomorrow. So that's about tech. And then Friday, I sit with Brigitte, who's in Cape Town in South Africa. And she and I talk about anything and get people to join us live on air and talk about anything and everything. So 5 different shows from 4 different countries in 5 days. And that's the beauty of live video, because you can be anywhere in the world. And as you said, hosts in the US, in the UK, in Australia, and in South Africa.
And I guess I don't know. I'm asking you: is it possible? Say you've got a section of one of these recordings that either party, let's say, or anyone involved in it, feels that they would want to repurpose or use in a different context. Is that possible to sort of copy and paste it elsewhere in a different format or medium?
Certainly. I mean, this live video is the greatest way of creating, and easiest way of creating content, because we're talking now and we can download the video from YouTube afterwards, and then using an editor we can slice it up any which way we want, and either of us can then repurpose it either on a blog, or on Facebook, anywhere. Yeah. So this is a great way to create content. It's a great way to advertise your business as well.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant.
Because I said what Anne-Marie does at the end of her show is she says, "Oh, and by the way, I'm an author, and this is my book."
Yeah.
So it's a great way of actually getting the word out about your services or your products.
Yeah.
And creating content. So yes, you can repurpose it.
Yeah, no, it's great. Okay, let's move on to my last key question, and I think you've answered it in several ways already, but I want to explicitly ask you the question, and that is, how can you, Stephen Healey, help people? How do you enjoy helping people as well?
Right. Okay. I enjoy helping people. It's one of the great things is to be able to answer somebody's question. And Be Live TV have a Facebook group with nearly 4,000 members, and I'm an admin there. And I answer technical questions or practical questions about BeLive.tv. I've got the Udemy courses where I can teach you all about going live on Facebook or on YouTube, or how to create your own course on Udemy. If you've got knowledge to share, then you should be getting it down on video and sharing it with the world. That's my take on it. And also, I mean, through the live shows, we help people. I mean, I've just started this week teaching people how to build a bot, so that if you're watching one of my live shows and you want to come on camera, and you're watching and you want to come on camera, in the old days, I'd have to give you a link, like I sent you a link earlier. What I can now do is say, Jan, would you type guest? And you type guest as a comment, and instantly you get a message. Well, I'm still talking. You get a message with a link, and you can act on it straight away. And that's what we're looking at. 2018 is going to be an automation. Now you'd get the link. You'd be able to come on my show and come on camera. Then after the show, I would talk to you. So it's the beginning of a conversation. It's not a conversation itself, but it's a way to get a conversation going. So I just love helping people. Anything about live video, then I'm happy to answer. And obviously, if you want to take one of my Udemy courses, if you say which one, I shall give you a discounted coupon.
How if I wanted to, because I do want to have a look at this Udemy and your teachings on there. How do I go online and find? Well, first of all, I guess I can find Udemy by just typing in, is it UDEMY?
Udemy,
And then how do I find your offerings on there? Searching for it, obviously, but how just your name, or what do I do?
All right. If you go to udemy.com, and I said you find that straight away. And then in the search box, if you type Stephen Healey, then you'll get all my 7 courses.
Okay, brilliant. That sounds really good.
And you can look at each one.
Okay, that's great. I've gone through my 3 questions that you advised me to ask you, and I think I thought they were very good. You know, I'm sure we could talk a lot longer and go a lot deeper and go into lots of philosophy about the world of work and skills and media and communication and presentation and online and offline and networking and building a business, all these things. But, you know,
perhaps that's something that we could do together in 2018.
Yeah, no.
Just talk about it for a quarter of an hour.
And, I guess people can always express, you know, what kind of questions they want to address or see answered, or, you know, hear people's opinions about. I mean, I certainly don't know it all. I can give people my opinion, and so do you. You've got lots of technical experience and knowledge behind you, which I think is, you know, awe-inspiring, to be honest. So yeah,
we both have experience. We live in the same world, but different areas of expertise. And if we brought our expertises together, then that would be brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much, Stephen Healey. There's one question I have forgotten to ask, and I think is maybe for another time, and that's for you to explain a little bit more about a light stream green room, which is the format that I understand we're using at this very moment, that I'd like to hear more about on a different occasion. So let's agree that we can, or you can maybe address that at the next opportunity. So, Stephen, thank you very much. Thank you, and
Thank you.
I shall definitely be visiting your wheelchair business club interviews again in the very, very near future. So, thank you, Stephen.
Thank you for inviting me, Jan.
And happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas to everybody.